Everyone, welcome to Datu's Corner Live. I'm your host, Datu Tim. Normally, this is our FMA Talk Chronicles, but PG Ty is on tour in Texas. Actually, I wasn't even sure I was going to make it. I just got back done from a tour in Florida. Hello, Mr. Sam. How are we doing? So, when everyone, please let me know where you're calling from. As far as not Facebook or YouTube, but like what part of the world you're logging in from. So today's going to be a shorter episode. I had planned on talking about some things. I'm gonna go over what we're going to be talking about in the future. But with where my mind is at the moment with my trip, I'm really it was a long trip. And I don't want to. I want to make sure I do a good episode. So today I'm going to do some other things. Hey, Brian. So I got Brian from Pennsylvania, and we got Eric from Portland, Oregon. Thanks for stopping in. Like I said, this is going to be Datu's Corner Live. I'm going to be doing some episodes in the future. Today I'm just going to talk about what's coming up with our organization and some things going on. But one of the topics I'm going to be talking about is so I just did let me backtrack. I just did a tour in Florida. I left Wednesday. I went down to Orlando, did a couple things down there. Then I went to Jacksonville and did a 3-day camp there. And then I'm home today, Monday, home tomorrow, Tuesday. And then Wednesday, I go down to Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm there Wednesday through Saturday. And then I start working my way back home. So with everything going on, I got home, got home at noon. So the way I travel, if the first night in a new place, I don't sleep, and the last night I don't sleep. The last night I don't sleep because I'm worried about oversleeping. So my flight was at 7 a.m. So I got to bed at like midnight. Woke up at 1, 2, 3, 3:30, 4, and then finally 5:15, which was my wake up call. That's how I normally am. Got a little sleep on the way home. Got home, got picked up at right around noon. Grabbed all my stuff, threw it in the laundry, took a nap. Most of my clothes are packed for the trip, so for going down to Virginia. So hopefully, I'll be in much better shape tomorrow when I'm doing stuff. So I'm planning on doing a couple episodes. I did some pre-recorded stuff on this, and I just didn't get to it, and I didn't like the way it was turning out. And I'm going to be doing more Datu Corners live. There was a book put out by Dan Anderson. I cannot comment on the overall accuracy of the book, but I can comment on the accuracy about the things that I was involved with. And there's a bunch of descriptions, whatever, issues that I have with the book. Now, I already put out one. It talked about how I allegedly left to go into Canada. And that was not the case. The episode was real simple. I was the Can-Am director of the IMAF, the Can-Am director of the International Modern East Federation. Okay. So professor wanted me to help develop Canada with him. He said, Tim, Canada's yours to get going, and I will go in. And I never really put it that way to the Canadians because I'm an American, not a Canadian. Although it's all America, because it's all North America. But my job was to help develop and support the work that he had did. And it was easier for them to have me up financially because there's a huge price difference between professor seminars and Tim Hartman seminars at the time. But it was never a leaving. Matter of fact, I mean, if that was the case, the last camp that professor taught at in the States, the last Michigan camp, the last Michigan camp, he promoted me to 6th degree, and he told me I was a Datu. And then a month later at the Atlanta camp, he announced to everybody I was Datu. So he obviously, if I wasn't, that was 2000. I was with him when he got diagnosed with his brain tumor. So if I was not with him, how would I have been with him? So, the book isn't, and, normally this stuff I wouldn't bother. I mean, But since the book isn't going to magically change itself and it's wrong, I need to make sure that I put my involvement out there. So I do have one I'm going to follow up about what actually happened in Germany when Professor got diagnosed, because I was the only American there when he got diagnosed. I flew home and told people to get him out of there, and a bunch of Americans went over. Then promotions happened. Go figure. But as far as when it all happened, I was the only American present. And then we're going to address about Dan's posting the will, and I've got feelings about that, but that's another story. So, like I said, I'm tired, and you guys, everybody, it's a pain in the ass when you're tired from traveling, and sometimes you just say things you might be a little more intense on things than you normally would. So today I want to talk about what's going on in the World Modern East Alliance. And if you got any questions, put them up there. No holds barred. Anything you want to talk about, let's do this. But I figure I'll just do this till about maybe just cap it at an hour. Nothing crazy. It might only be a half hour. Who knows? So start hitting me with some questions there. In the meantime, let me talk about what's going on here. So, okay, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna show you my buddy here. Let me see if I can do this. Hold on here. I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I'm gonna get in big trouble. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Here, move over. Come on. You guys haven't seen Tyr yet. Here's Tyr. This is my lap dog. Come here. Come here. He knows better. So this is a little Rottweiler that's 170 pounds. I can't move my camera at the moment. Actually, you know what I can do? Let me switch cameras. I can switch cameras. I can. Hold on. Let me see here. All right. I'm planning on building. I'm cleaning out my basement. Here, stay here. And I'm planning on putting a studio in the basement. Let's see. I got the right one. No. Let's do for front camera. Here we go. All right. Tyr. Oh, let me see. I got to introduce you guys to Tyr, who haven't met him. Here, come here, buddy. You're on TV. Come here. This is Tyr, everybody. He's my baby. Brenna's downstairs. So Tyr was 14 months old. We had lost Loki. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Freya and Bear, for those who remember those guys, which were phenomenal dogs. Hey, Rich, how you doing? And I was just about to go to the Philippines, and Janice goes to me, and every time I went to somewhere in the house when I came home, okay, you can move. You can move. Come on, buddy. I gotta get back on the show. Come on, go get over there, buddy. All right. So and everyone who knows me, Hey, everybody. Sorry about that. Um, changing cameras doesn't work very well with this setup I got. So, yeah, I'm glad you were hanging there. Not too long. So that's my buddy. My buddy Tier. Love my puppies. If anyone knows who's been around, you know that we've always loved our dogs like children. Thor was our first. Loki. We were a pair. Then we got Bear. Thor and Loki, Rottweilers. Bear was a shepherd chow mix, cool because he had the black tongue. And then we had Freya, another Rottweiler. And now we've got Brenna and Tyr. And we just lost Freya, cancer. And then shortly after that, Bear went. And every time I walked in the house and I saw, like in the dark, I saw this black pile of my pants, I thought it was a dog. And Janice goes to me, hey, weeks before I'm going to the Philippines, you know, there's a Rottweiler down at the animal shelter, but I know you're going to the Philippines, so we can't look at it. So, of course, the next day I'm at the animal shelter and saw this guy, 14 months old. He was returned. Person couldn't hold him. You know, he moved in with family members, didn't have the means, whatever. So we got him. And, you know, he's got some issues, you know. But he's a really good dog. And then I got Brenna, another one. They don't always. There was another rescue, but but that was a few years ago, so it's not a bad. You know, I'm okay with that. It's just talk about it periodically. You know how it is. So Tyr, I've had him for like 4 years now, 4 years now, probably 4 years. Brenna, we've had about 2-3 years, and they're like kids. They argue and all this other stuff. Yeah, we all have issues. Yes, we do, Steve. So anyways, what I want to do is just talk about what's going on in the WMA right now. And then if anyone has any questions while I'm here, we'll answer this. So I was thinking about not doing the show because, you know, my head wasn't going to be right from all the travel. It took a little more of a toll than I thought. But, you know, let's go on. So here's what I want to talk about, what I did. So this week I was down in Florida. So Wednesday, I flew down, got a rental car, and shot off. I went to Jacksonville and then drove 2.5 hours to Orlando. What I should have done is see if I could have got a flight into Orlando and a flight home from Jacksonville and see if there was a one-way car rental where I could pick it up in Orlando and drop it off in Jacksonville. That would have been the move, but that's okay. And yeah, he's got 100, you know, you got 130 pounds. Yep. Aren't they? So while I was down there, I visited Orlando Eskrima. I went there 2 nights. And the first night, they didn't have class, but Chris Chu had class. So Chris is the son of Bruce Chu, an old friend of mine. And so I got to, Chris was doing some private, so I stopped in to say hello and never met him before. We've talked on Instagram and Facebook, but just never face to face. So I got to meet him and talked about a lot of modern East history. Went back the next night for Orlando Eskrima and did you know, Eric did a class, and then he asked me if I would share something. So I did a little of our Panantukan elements. We did the how to take double Sinwali and use it for pad drills, which is really cool. And then from there, you know, then I went out and Chris came back and he was my uke for most of the evening, so that was cool. I'm looking at all these different things that are going on here at the same time. Okay, that's cool. And you know what I also need to do is I need to tell the boss to do something. Actually, let me do this real quick because, you know, it's nice when I remember to do stuff, and it's terrible when I forget. And I forgot to do. Well, I need to remind someone of something. In the meantime, I can pull up some stuff here.
Yes.
Hey, you're live on the show. Not really, but I'm on the show live while I'm talking to you.
Okay.
Did we ever put out that text for the kickboxers?
We did not.
Okay. Can you just throw one last one up there?
I will do it now.
Thank you, dear.
Bye.
Okay. So, got a kickboxing class starting tomorrow, fitness kickboxing, so I want to get the word out there. I'm looking at, okay, there it is. Sometimes. So while I was down there in Orlando, I went to the CMA and Maya training headquarters, and I got to hang out with some people here. So let me see if I can do this here. I definitely want to get a different setup here for my computer. I'm using my laptop, and not that I don't like my laptop, it just could be better. So here is the headquarters shot. So this is Mike Metzger, Mr. Frank Silverman. That's your loving Datu, and this is Michael Perry. And these guys, these are in the Orlando headquarters for Maya and Championship Martial Arts. And then there's other consultants. Shane Tossell is out. He called while I was there. And then these out in somewhere, wherever somewhere is, Minnesota or Wisconsin or something along those lines. And then I went to the training center. They have a bunch of schools there. And then, that's what I wanted. So amazing. These guys, I went for a social visit, and Mike Metzger went out of his way to share all this information with me. And he goes, "Hey, do you want more? Do you want more? Do you want more?" And I'm like, "No, I don't." Not because I didn't want more information, because I didn't go there for that. I went down to say hello, and next thing you know, they're just sharing me stuff and giving me a lot of stuff. Okay, Alliance is doing what with KI? Alliance doing that with KI now via episodes, different sanctions. More than happy to do it with Arnis if reps are interested. Okay, we can make something happen. We'll talk more about this, Dean, and then we can do some stuff from there. Hey, Datu, how cool, sir, to share a part of your life, sir. Oh, well, thanks. Thank you, Jason. So these guys, here's what I say. Every time someone says you go to a martial art business thing and it's all McDojo-ish because they have 200, 300, 500 students. I watched one of their kids' classes. Now, it was one of their, I will say this, it was one of their specialty teams, but I got to say this, these kids look great. There's some little kids there doing stuff, and they're working out on their own. They were taught something, and they were given the time to do their own thing, and their skill set was just as good as that. Now, you might not like the material they were doing, and I really don't care, but here's a top tier commercial martial arts school putting out solid martial artists, and it can be done. So Tier, what are you whining about? Oh my God, he's going to be like this all day. So while I was, like I said, I went to see the headquarters. They've got their World Training Center, which is not their busiest school, but they use it for all their events. 6,000 square foot with a training center up on the top for classrooms for school owners. They got offices in the back where they do their filming. Amazing. This is what we need in the FMA industry. Some kind of training center, at least stateside, that we can have something for an art. And it's inspired me to take things to another level with our group. So here's Eric from Orlando Screamo. This is Chris Chu, and then this is your loving Datu in the middle. Oh my God, my dog's just being a pain in the butt. Oh my God, I love my puppy, but sometimes he's just a pain in the ass. If I can say, can I say that can I say ass on the radio? And there's the three of us. I don't know what happened there. I think I wanted to get more fiber in my diet. So there are the boys, the three of us, the tres amigos. So I really had a good time down there. It's a small group. It's really cool because I'm looking for all my stuff here. I don't know who that is, so let me see here. Here we go. There we go. So this is Orlando Screamo. They got they probably got like 30 people, 40 people on the weekends, daytimes, not too much. So that's what I did down in Orlando. These are the guys I was hanging with. And then from there, I went to Jacksonville for the Southeast Modern East Training Camp. So we had okay, so the guy in the black, let me tell you, this guy drove all the way down from Maine. This is Lyman Pryor. One of our he trains with a whole bunch of people. He's one of our third-degree black belts. This is over Ernie McKinney's school, sporting my Punisher hoodie. What is going on with these pictures? There's a group going on for lunch. And here's a cool one. Grandmaster Vervilliuson showed up. So so here's Mr. McKinney, the head of the school, and this is Vervilliuson, and this obviously is your loving Datu Vervilliuson. So for those who've done Balintawak, the creator was Anshan Bakan. But Anshan did not create the groupings. It was his student, Jose Villiuson, attorney Jose Villiuson. And even though Anshan didn't do the groupings, it was a very popular method of training in Balintawak. Well, Ver, the gentleman in the red here, is the son of Jose Villiuson. And he helped me with some confirmation of some stories about Remy, because, Remy trained with everybody. And there's people that he put the bulk of his training in, but he would go around with everybody and anybody to get extra training. And Jose was one of those people. And then here's the group. Little man in the back hiding. Let me see here. Where did you go? That was with my phone. So Mr. Ernie's not in the picture. I don't know why. Probably, because he's taking the picture with my camera. That's why. So we probably had throughout the weekend about 15 people. It's not a huge camp, but it's fun camp. We have a good time. Let me see here. Do you, Datu? Do I what? Okay. Okay, now here we go. So we had a great time. We're getting ready. I'm going back in November for a week tour in Orlando or Florida. We'll be doing our next. We do basically 2 camps a year in Orlando or in Jacksonville. So November will be our next one. It won't be. Will not be the week of Thanksgiving. It'll be the week that precedes it. And now I'm going to be down there. It's not a week-long camp. I'm actually going to pull up the dates while I'm here. The camp itself is going to be November 18th, 19th, and 20th. Okay, so, and then from there, we will look. I'm going to be doing some other schools prior to that. So I'm going to do a little tour, hanging out in the area, and then doing stuff from there. But so let's get in it because I gotta manage my dog. Like I said, tonight's not the show. Tonight's just Datu filling in for PG Ty and Datu Tim, the FMA talk. So let me cancel this. Shut this down. Cancel download. All right, I'm going to shut this window because I don't need this. So seminar-wise, PG Ty is going to be, he's in Florida right now doing stuff. I don't have his list in front of me. He's going to be at Kwan's, Mr. Beck's. He's going to do a Pontoon class this weekend. A lot of things going on there, and it's really cool. Some of this is on our Facebook page, so definitely look at the World Modern East Alliance Facebook page. The big event. Okay, so this is our big event for February. The triple impact. Triple threat. Triple threat. Why I've got that confused? Because someone whined like a little baby that they thought triple threat was inappropriate. So then we changed it, and then person took it off Facebook pages and got us banned from Facebook pages because really I just think the whining little bitch doesn't want the seminar in their backyard. Instead of talking to us about changing the name, they said we should take this off the Facebook page. And then, of course, the group did hoo-hoo. Oh, it's like, so, here we go. I can do this up here. Oh, that was that whole thing on Rant. I went on Mr. Brian Zawolinski. I'd shared the screen, the post, what he put up there and stuff like that. And, very becoming of an alleged grandmaster. So February 5th is the Mano seminar. Going to be some Panatuka in there. The 12th is the immersion seminar. So that's the next of our hybrid training sessions. So people will be attend physically and virtually. And those who are testing this round for the camp in May, dollar for dollar, all the fees from these events go towards your test in May. And then we have the triple threat seminar. So this is the one. This is the big event of the year. And there's more seminars that Ty is doing. Look at Ty Botting on Facebook and you'll see it. So this is Frank Schakowsky. Master Frank Schakowsky is the host and then and instructor. PG Ty and myself. So the three of us will be teaching together. It is going to be noon to 5, February 26th in Middletown, Connecticut. And here's the cool part. You know who's going to be present? I know you don't. I can tell you who's going to be there. Dean Franco will be there covering it for FMA discussion. So what's going to happen is he's going to attend, and then we're going to do some post-interview thing, post-seminar interview. Not sure what's going on because we would go out to dinner with people if there's an interest. If not, we'll do the show and then we'll go from there. So, but that is the last weekend of February. Once again, it is the Arnis Triple Threat Seminar. If you look at the World Arnis Alliance website, you go wmarnis.com or worldmodernis.com, and you go to the events. You can check on it here. You can reach out to Guru Frank, and then he will hook you up. There is a virtual option on this. So we are having virtual attendees. I'm not sure if they're still planning it, but I had a group from Fiji that was talking about being part of this. Let me see here. I'm trying to. I'm going to do this. Boom. That's that. And I'm trying to get my mouse over. Can we all just get along? No, obviously not. Because people are insecure and jealous and stuff of that nature. Nice about teen covering. Yes, it is. Nice. Yes. And good evening. Hey, Darren, how you doing? So that's what's going on there. Like I said, so for those who just tuned in, not a long show because it's just myself. I was going to talk about what's going on, what happened. I was going to talk about things like what happened in Germany with Professor's diagnosis and stuff like that. But with my travels, I'm a little, when I travel too much and I get tired, my bullshit factor goes down. I get my filter, my tolerance, and I kind of speak my mind. I almost confiscated somebody's car down in Florida when they took out a Mustang driving it sideways down the road, which I really didn't care until it almost hit the back of my rental car, which I really cared about that. And I was looking to purchase one while I was down there anyway. So, why not add a third one to my fleet? I could just take this kid's. So, that's the big thing there. I'm going to talk about one more event, but does anyone have any questions while we're here? I said, no holds barred, just ask something real quick. It's going to be a short show, half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour at most. Right now, we've been on for 30 minutes. Bullshit faster. Bullshit filter. Full. Hello. Yeah, it's always full. Datu's Corner, Unchained. Yes, it is. So, suggestions also on things you'd like me to cover, like I said, in the future. So whether it be at FMA Talk or Datu's Corner. I want to separate some of these shows, and I'll tell about why I do this. First of all, there's three entities. There's Tim Hartman, the head of the World Monarchs Alliance. There's Tim Hartman, co-host of FMA Talk, and then there's Tim Hartman, who does Datu's Corner. And the thing here about this is that when I do seminars, I'm going to say this. I don't talk about politics when I'm doing seminars, because I feel when people start pushing their agenda, you almost have people there that are hostage. Like I've considered walking out of events because I didn't like the people, what they were saying, and all this other stuff. But I decided that it would be better just don't support them the next time around. But and people say, well, then why are you saying stuff on the show about stuff? Well, no one has to watch the shows. You can turn it off. That's the nice thing about anything. You don't like a TV show, you turn the damn thing off. It's like all the people who complain about Howard Stern. He's changed it. He's changed his format huge since he first went out there. You don't like him? Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Okay, what do we got here? Why do some call it guru and some go guru? Okay, so Filipino is guru, and I think Indian is guru, and I think that's where they get the confusion. They don't understand the proper spelling. I mean, we were well. Here we go. So, how would you spell Isa, the number one? That would be ISA. Actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this here. One is ISA. Put it down there. Okay. Boom. So, how would you spell Delaware, which is two? Anybody? I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Eric. I'll give I know there's a slight variation, so I'll give a 5 count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so Sam and Steven got it close. There we go. That's the right one. This is the right one. Well, that's the wrong one. Too many L's there. Okay, so a lot of ways to do it. It sounds like there's an E in there. It is. And okay, so first, when I say this, there's over 100 different dialects in Filipino language. So there could be more than one way to spell. So Dalawa, but it's not the way you pronounce it. Dalawa. But it's not the way it's pronounced. Lima is 5. Okay, so if you do Tatlo, this is a big one for me, is 3. Okay. 4 is Apat. Apat is 4. APAT. Oh, and that's it. Came up pot. Oops. Ooh. APAT. We had a little number. I'm not talking about the other pot. Okay, so Lima is 5. I don't have my readers on here. I probably should have them on while I'm doing this stuff. Anim is 6. Okay. Then Walo. No, Alima and Pito. Pito is 7. Walo is 8. Siam is 9. Sampu is 10. And when you say, if you were to say 11, it would be Labing, and then you say Isa. So here we go. Here's a one. Can you talk about the free version of the memberships you have planned for the WMA? Okay. Well, that's fine. Perfect. Great thing. So I have talked about this multiple times. I think modern Arnis, along with other Filipino martial arts, are headed for hard times, maybe possible extinction, due to the fact that the leaders are gone and there's no committed schools. So Modern Arnis, well, Modern Arnis, there was a will. Dan put it, Anderson wrote it in his book. I don't like that it was, I'm going to talk about the book. I'll talk about this right now. I think I'm really pissed off at Dan Anderson, very insulted by his actions. He put Remy's will in its entirety in his book. And if you want to put the martial art portion of that, which has been put out on the internet on multiple occasions, I'm okay with that. But who the hell is he to put out Remy's will? There's no need for anyone to know who got how much money, who got what house, and all this stuff. That's bullshit. His comment that I heard, I don't know how factual it is, but the comment was, well, Demetrius said there was no will. Well, who made you the police to, and Tira came back in when I was talking about this. Who are you? Who made you the police to talk about about the will? It's none of your damn business. You're not family. Roland Dantes asked me to help the family, not him. Reached out to me and said, hey, you need to be there for them. Remy wants you to help. Okay. And I got involved. And I went and visited the family and talked to them. And we went through a whole bunch of things. Because lo and behold, Remy's estate disappeared nights before he passed, days before he passed away. But I'm going to talk about the will right now on one portion of this. The will had the estate, the money, all that stuff went to the children, and the martial arts went to the students. Remy didn't will it to any of his family members, not his brothers, not his sons or children. He had asked me when Joseph was born that if something happened to him, to teach the kids, and that I'm still willing to do that, but I haven't done anything with that. But in the will, and this is why am I talking about the will when it comes to the membership? Well, in the will, there was 30 names to take over the art. And only 2 were residents of the Philippines. That was Shashir and Roland Dantes, who's no longer with us. Shashir is still with us, but Roland Dantes passed away a while back. So he didn't will it to Tungsten or Dulai or Bambit. I'm sorry, that's the same. Renee Tungsten, Bambit Dulai, Rodel de Guck, Jerry De La Cruz. None of the Filipinos were named in the will. There was a board of 30 people, and we were supposed to do things together. So instead, 7 people took over. And then, like I said, the estate magically disappeared in the middle of the night. And I'll get more detail in a future show. But the thing here is, Remy, and I had talked to several of his attorneys over the year. Actually, I knew 3 of his attorneys. And then 2 of them, we talked about this portion when it came to the will. Remy didn't want to leave anyone out. He wanted everyone included. So this notion that only 7 people would be in charge, especially when a good chunk of them had only been black belts for a few years, makes no sense. Especially since I was up there weeks before. I went a couple times to Victoria to visit, and when I was there 2 weeks before he passed away, and they made the nurses made the comment that he's finally coming into terms that he's going to die. If he didn't think he was going to die, it meant he thought he was going to get back on the road. He would not have done anything to mess up his money. He would not have sat there and said, I'm going to take these people who are 3rds and 4ths, promote them to 5th degree, then give them this title and say that this title supersedes everything, which, well, if it's the title that supersedes everything, then why promote them in rank? You can't have it both ways. So, well, we took junior master, which is 5th, which I never heard of that, and turned it into a full-blown master. And I think they got that wrong because Dan was a 6th, and then eventually he became senior master, which was not a rank-driven title. And if there was a rank-driven title, I would have had it because I had tested up black, then first, all the way to 6th degree, and any rank-driven titles I would have had because I was the highest ranked active American in the system. But the whole thing was Remy was inclusive. He wanted us all to be part of it. That's why he had so many names. And he did that. I mean, he was been working on that for years, and that's been a consistent thing. So before someone says, well, the tumor affected what's going on. No, it wouldn't have affected. What the tumor did was affect the decision to put people in charge. And even if it didn't mess with his faculties, the emotional situation would have, because Remy was ruled by his emotions. So you had the Grand Master, who wanted everyone to be included, and another group of people who were exclusive. You had these 7 people, and this is based on my opinion, which would have been Jeff Delaney, Randy Shea, Jim Lattis, Chuck Goss, Kenny Smith, Brian Zawolinsky, and Gabrielle Roloff. Now, I understand that it's a collective, it's 7 people, and maybe not everybody agreed 100% with the way things were done. So I'm not going to put it all on them as a collective. But the thing is, I remember talking to Chuck once, and he goes, well, I didn't like this and I almost quit. Well, why didn't you quit? Because he had problems with which one of the members were doing things. And it's like, well, you remember, if you either if you don't stand against someone, that means you stand with them. If a member of your group is doing things in the name of the group and you don't say a word about it, that means you support it. So 20 years of nonsense scared a lot of people away. People left because Remy died, which that was going to happen. But we went from being probably one of, if not the largest Filipino-based FMA group in the world, to being on life support. You've got Dan Anderson, who just has a school. You have Brian Zawolinsky, who just teaches out of his basement. Chuck Goss no longer has a school. Kenny Smith has a school, but I don't know what kind of participation. Randy Shea, who knows where he went, because he allegedly ripped off all the Masters of Tappy Tappies, which was the minor thing, because allegedly he's ripped off other people with because he was doing the trading thing, and a lot of people invested money with him. And the scuttlebutt is that he got arrested, then he got bailed out and he disappeared. Whether he disappeared because someone bumped him off and buried him, or he went to a non-extradition country, I don't know. This is what I'm being told, but I do know that it caused one of the Datus, who invested a shitload of money, of his parents' money, into that person, and when it went away, it was stolen, it was gone, never getting back, that he took his own life. This is the group that was leading Modern Arnis, that said that they were the rightful heirs when like I said, a lot of them had only been black belts for 4 to 6 years. I look at things, and I personally wished that they would have been successful, because if their group was successful and my group was successful, that would be much better. And then they split amongst themselves. So Jeff Delaney was the first to leave and do his own thing. Well, he had his other IMAF. So he had 2 IMAFs in the States. And yeah. You like that? So Jeff Delaney left. And I think it's because he was going to get fired. So he preemptively fired them. And I know people went with Jeff because Remy told people to help out Jeff. And I don't blame him for that. One of our guys, Chad Doolin, went with Jeff, and he's with us. He is with us now because he can only do so much, and finally had to walk away from that shit show because of some of the people that he was stuck working with. And, and then out of the Mott's, Jim Lattis retired. He had some issues that he couldn't commit to it. Let me go. Do I hearing the history? I wish this part wasn't. I wish I didn't have to say this part of it. You know, and this. I wish this part didn't exist. Let's put it that way. So with things going, the World Modern Race Alliance has become the world's largest modern race organization that is not subsidized by a government. We are not a comp sport. We are not. There's no money coming in. This is all done privately, and we've got actually got to put 2 more schools up for the states. We now have 21 schools in the U.S. and Canada, and I just got another school I just put up while I was in Florida. We got a new school in Austria, so we have 2 locations in Austria now. We are growing, and what I'm doing is for this year is we are okay. What's Chairman? I know I appreciate the way you speak. Okay, thank you. We are sponsoring schools to become members for a year. I want people to try the membership for a year to see if it works for them. My goal is to get our numbers bigger. You know, we need to increase the number of black belts because here's the sad thing. How about you? Here's the sad thing. Okay, so when we look at the most of the modern age black belts never produced a black belt. I produced 21 of my own. I produced more black belts than most states have produced black belts. Okay. I don't know. We got to talk to Eric. I got to get Herb Blue on the phone or something. I got to find out. And when I say black belts, I'm saying Remy Pracis certified. Now, what the hell am I talking about? Okay. My black belt candidates test in front of Remy and become black belts. They're still my black belts. I wasn't the one who could produce them because Remy, or that could certify them, because I asked Remy, and his comment was that no one can promote the black belt. No one. While he was alive, no one had the power to promote the black belt. Now, when he retired from the art, that's another story. But I coined the phrase of RPCs, Remy Pracis certified. So I would like to know how many Herb Blue, because I heard Herb produced a fair amount. But I don't know of many people. I mean, we've had people on the show. Okay. We have Lauren Therian, who's a 5th degree. Carl Minkel, I forgot what rank he was, 3rd or 4th. We had Ed Kwan, or no, Frank Schakowsky, who all three were certified through Remy. So a 3rd degree, a 3rd or 4th degree, and a 5th degree, none of which have produced a black belt for Professor Pracis. I'm not making fun of them. I'm not pointing them out. That is the norm. The problem here is Professor created a great platform. Think about this, the genius. He could have opened up a school in town and everyone would have said, there's my competition. Or he does this art within your art program. So now you get excited to add it to what you're already doing. And it's not a threat. Now, he was moving to doing things as a standalone program. We were talking about ranked curriculum. I was actually in discussion to write the official curriculum for him. He reshot all the video. He shot more videos. He, at the last camp in Michigan, he had me reshoot the forms. A bunch of us did it together. He didn't like the fact that we weren't all in sync with each other, and the lighting was bad. So he had me redo it later in the camp by myself. And then when we were at the Atlanta camp, he had me take a whole bunch of people in the room by himself. So it would have been like Roland Rivera, Chad Doolin, Bob Quinn, and any of the other black belts who were in attendance. And he said, teach them the way the form is supposed to be. And that's what I did. Now, what people have done since then, that's up to them. I don't care. I mean, I've changed my stick forms because there was things, in my opinion, in the stick forms that need to be updated. Now, I've gone back and forth. I was doing the Kuntao forms for a while through our organization, and I've gone back to the original modernized forms. And that could be a whole nother topic of conversation. But one of the things I do with my people is when I do something, I present it to them as well so they can see the steps. Because what makes me today are the things that I've done. And if I don't expose my students to those same things within reason, they may not be able to grow as much as I have. Not become me, because there's only one me, there's only one you, and there's only one of all of them. Uh-oh. I got another guest. Oh, get over here. Come over here. Come here. Let me see if you can see my other guest here. Hold on. This is Brenna. Everyone say hello to Brenna. This is my baby. She's supposed to be a boxer mastiff. Doesn't she look like a pit bull? Go figure. Hey, baby. Oh, come here. Come here. She's sometimes scared. She was from Atlanta, which is a kill state. If it wasn't because of her demeanor, they would have killed her down there, but they sent her up north. Look at her. There we go. She's such a good boy. All right. Hey, Brenda. Of course, I spell it wrong because I don't know how to spell shit. I spell it with one end because I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Don't know how to spell. Hey, she is a pretty girl. She's looking over my shoulder. Hey, you guys. You make sure she doesn't get me, okay? Or maybe she's watching you guys. So, what's up, AJ? How you doing? Just me tonight. Ty's in Texas teaching. So, and Jason, give me a call during the week when you get some. Well, actually, no, I'm going to Virginia this week. I'm around tomorrow. Hit or miss, and then, but there's some things happening. But we can talk. Listen, so because of this stuff, possibly both, yeah. Because of all this nonsense, it ground a lot of people left. So my goal is to promote the arts. I'm trying to increase our numbers, and we're doing a test. So I'm gonna talk about Professor's will real quick because, well, it was written. So I'm going to. Oh, there it is. Let me see here. There's one line that just resonates with me, and well, let me see here. Will. Okay, I guess I can't find it. Oh, I know why, because it's searching the wrong thing. Okay, so let me do this. Just takes me a minute here. Technology works when the guy knows what he's doing, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So, okay, here we go. I'm just going to read Remy's will that was never executed. The martial art portion, because that's relevant. When it comes to the rest of it, it's none of your damn business. Simple as that. Okay. And why someone put it out there in public, got issues with that. Some people just think they're, I don't know what the hell people think they're. They're a bunch of assholes out there. So let me, okay, this is all the written stuff. Let me get to the, almost there. That's my dog. Arguing with my other dog. Okay, here we go. Okay, so well, it's funny how I wasn't going to talk about this, but now I'm going to talk about this. Go figure. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of the banner here. Yeah, let me get rid of. Let me see here. Oops. Classic. Nope. Block. Okay, well, I can't get rid of it. Okay, so here we go. I'll read it over from my other side, and then this will go here, so I can do this. Here we go. I'll use it's a touch screen. So here we go. Second, first, this is part of the will. It goes, second, I direct my executor form a legal corporation to promote the art of modern Arnis. I direct that the mission of this organization will be to promote, teach, preserve the art of modern Arnis, which has been my life's passion and work. Now, let's talk about that. I met Professor when I was 19 years old. He died when I was 35. So pretty much, for all intents and purposes, my entire adult life. And only until recently has it gotten to the point where it's less than half of my adult life. It was, for the longest time, it was the majority of my adult life. I knew the man. I had crappy jobs. I couldn't start a family. I don't have children. I sacrificed all this to do the art. So I hear people talk about whether all they do, the commitment of the art and all this other stuff. They all have jobs. They all have jobs or other businesses, and they have their retirements. They say, Chuck was a police officer. Kenny was a full-time karate guy, and he's got a grandmaster in Dillman karate. And unless he paid for the rank, obviously he's training the art and not committing completely to modern Arnis. Jeff Delaney, he had HVAC, a very successful HVAC company, and you can't do that if you're doing martial arts full time. The list goes on. I was the only guy I was of the group at the time. There's only 2 professional martial arts. That was Kenny Smith and myself. I'm talking about if we're talking about the Monts. You say Dan Anderson. What was Super Dan Anderson? His karate school, and it wasn't until 2002 that he put modern Arnis on his schedule. The only mention prior to that, and if you go to archive.org, is you'll see his bio. Now, let's get into this. So, okay, so that's why this speaks to me so much. This is my life passion. I sacrificed the quality of my life for the art, so I can do the art, because that was my passion. And it talks about it right here. It has been my passion and work. The board will elect a chairman and a co-chairman from its ranks for annual meeting of the board, which will be held immediately before or after the summer camp, which will be held yearly in Michigan or at another camp location, to be chosen by the members by majority vote. Now, when I say this, I'm not saying that Remy didn't want the Mott's to be part of this. He wanted so much more people. Now, listen to this list. People he wanted to be part of this. The board members will consist of the following: Brian Zawolinsky, Chuck Goss, Bruce Chu, Jeff Delaney, Dan Anderson, Terry Warham, Doug Pierre, Randy Shea, Al Garza, myself, David Hoffman, Larry Roca, Brett Salafia, Ken Smith, Jim Lattis, Richard Roy, Frederick King, Cesar Anacola, which I've got to believe that's Shashir, Lee Lowry, David Converse, Andy Filardo, Michael Bates, David Nung, Roland Rivera, still got more, Roland Dantes, the second Filipino resident, first one being Shashir, if that is Shashir, Marlene Hafano, Kevin Black, Charles Chaz Terry, Dieter Knuddel of Germany, and Gabriel Roloff of Germany. You do not see any of the Filipino students besides Shashir and Roland Dantes. And so the only one of permanent residence in the Philippines was Roland Dantes. Shashir he had 3 residents. Hey. He was in the Philippines, U.S., actually the Philippines, Florida, USA, and then Vancouver. And then from there, additional rules and bylaws of the governing executive board of the organization as a whole shall be promulgated upon formation of the corporation. This is what Remy wanted. All right. I want to take this down. That is what Remy did in a legal document. He did that long before this was for years, and he kept updating as time went on. So when I see that, when I hear this stuff, Remy, this is what he wanted. He thought about this logically. And what's the first thing they say in the will? I am of sound body and mind. So they couldn't have changed the will, but the people chose to ignore the will. And if they wanted to, what they could have done was said, you know what? We only got one shot at executing the will, but we could follow Remy's wishes. Instead, they followed what they wanted to do, taking advantage of an old man. So let's see what I got here. Of course, that's just my opinion on things, which I'm allowed. I might not be right, but let me see here. Let me see here. I said there's amen, brother. Hi, Brenna. Where do we go here? Sup, brothers? Possibly both. LOL. Money to sell a book. Here we go. Thank you. I need another one. It's getting out of hand. Actually, I should look to see when my next haircut is. Gotta make sure it's not tomorrow. I got so much stuff I'm doing tomorrow. Nope, it is not tomorrow. Thank goodness. Let's see. Is it the next week? I don't know. I don't know when my next haircut is. I gotta look to see how I can search. Oh, maybe I can search this. Here, you guys are like, why is he wasting our time searching for a haircut? Huh. Let me see here. Wow. No, that's a bad move. Definitely a bad move. I cannot tell. So, anyways. Tomorrow's the 1st, right? Yeah, tomorrow's the 1st. Growth seminar. I'll figure this shit out later. Huh. So, that's a little, here we go. It's very sad. Yeah, it is. Great connection between you and, and thank you, Bobby. I know, I met Bobby, Tuhan Bobby, through Remy. He was teaching at Carl Minkels in Mount Airy, Maryland, and the whole clan, the Lodger brothers, as well as their father, showed up, and it was really cool to meet them all. And the Lodgers and I have had a good relationship ever since. They did an FMA convention in Maryland, and I surprised them when I whipped off the Ting the Cling, the dance. And I didn't think I could do it. Yep, this Putti has some moves. It's all the triangular footwork anyway, so it's all good. What do we got here from here? Would have been a grand organization. I don't know. People would have still went their own way. What's happening? Yeah, we're talking bullshit. That's what's happening. Trip was good. Trip was good. I'm going back in November. George comes and does privates. He's one of my black belts. He's I don't remember what rank is. It's 3rd or 4th. 4th? Are you 4th? I don't know. I don't know what degree George is. At the moment, he had gotten a black belt while Remy was alive. And drove Remy around in his car and got street food with him and got in a lot of trouble. We all got trouble together. Youth and debauchery. You gotta love all that. But George, next week, Wednesday, we're back on. I leave Wednesday this week for Norfolk, Virginia. Forgot where I'm going. So next week we'll be doing a show, better show, because it'll be FMA talk. I got to think of the topic. I got a few ideas, but I'll work on that. As far as the organization goes, listen, here, guys, here's what happens. We would have broke up. There's no question about it. But it wouldn't be this nonsense of that these were the chosen ones. And I mean, look, okay, well, although here, why do I feel that the art? Okay, why when Ed Parker died, the art blew up, and when Remy died, it fell apart. Simple. There were no modern Arnis school. There was only one modern Arnis school while Remy was around, and that was mine. I was the second school, not the first school. The first school was the Filipino Karate Academy, where I started. Remy was a silent partner, and John Bryant was my teacher. There was definitely schools that offered modern Arnis, but that was a karate school or a taekwondo school or fill in the blanks. But offering modern Arnis is not a modern Arnis school. That's what we're missing. And with Kempo, there's Kempo schools all over, and all these organizations popped up. But hold on one moment here. Somebody's doing something they're not supposed to be. Janice. Okay. So people, otherwise known as my dogs, are chewing shit they're not supposed to. Go figure. At the end of the day, people are going to follow whomever they want. There was a whole bunch of people who would have followed the Motts, individuals. I don't think the Motts as a whole. I think Chuck, he had a following, and Kenny had a following, and that's where I think these guys they're really not. It's hard to lead an art that you don't do as a full-time program. The problem with the Filipino culture, if you want to, once the head guy dies, if they didn't have if they didn't have the example of a school, you would never open a school, and you can't have an art move forward when it's only done on one day a week in the park, at least not here in the States. If you want it to go forward, you need to have a training center. Because once the head person dies, it's done. And with Remy, the good thing is we've lasted 20 years, 21 years, and this year is the 65th anniversary of the art. So getting back to why we went down this path, because of all this bullshit and people who, what should have happened is that we all should have worked together, and I would have the training center because I had the only full-time modern Arnis school, and then I could show the other guys how they could have done the same thing. And then we could have had modern Arnis training centers all around the country, and then we could have built up more from there. But instead, it fell apart. Now, in our organization, we have three Praxis schools. Now, I prefer to go Praxis Arnis because we bill it as a standalone program versus the art within your art. But it's Remy Praxis Arnis. So we have one full-time school, full-time business, full-time modern Arnis program. And I have two part-time full-time programs, which is, it's a part-time business, but the program is full-time modern Arnis. And that is Sam Wolf's down in Mount Gilead, Ohio, and PG Craig's up in Sudbury, Ontario. And now Jeremy, who's I'm about to click on, I didn't read what he said yet. He's working a satellite program from Mr. Mason's, PG Mason's thing. And what's he say? I can't see myself leaving the WMA, but I definitely want to train with the other groups, get their flavors. Yeah, I think it's important that you do that. I think it's important that everyone gets to meet everyone else. I think everyone has something to offer. I've said this time and time again. Every time I saw him, I learned something new, which makes me wonder how much I missed. And I've seen him more than everybody else. I've went to 30 camps, and then seminars. I don't even know how many seminars. I was with him so much from 86 on. That's when I had my direct relationship with him. And as far as the others go, or as far as with us, everyone's got to have something, there's a move or whatever that Remy showed something to someone that the others didn't get, and it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. We all got to embrace what we're doing, and we all work together to pull this stuff together and see what we have. I'm constantly asking people to show me different things. Hey, what did Remy show you? Let's see your take on this. But and sometimes I gotta go through stuff and say, well, I personally believe that. Well, hope that people have a memory as good as mine when it comes to material. Sometimes that's not the case. I'm let down a little on people's remembrance. Oh yeah, that's cool. Is that Remy? Is that Remy? Hey, Jackie. Hey. So, congratulations on your job, Jackie. So, shame that KC lost the other day. Except they had the opportunity to win versus they won by a coin toss this time. So, where Buffalo lost by a coin toss, they got to change those rules. Yeah, thanks for the condolences. Only by a coin toss when they were on that's the see. Here's the thing: the difference between KC and Buffalo. KC wasn't given or Buffalo wasn't given the opportunity. They lost literally by a coin toss. KC won the coin toss and then they blew it. There's the difference. But I digress. So anyways, that's pretty much about it right now. Like I said, with all of that, I digress, busting chops here. With all of that, what's this here? Oh, we're not talking about 2018. We're talking about that right now. 2018 is the history. We're talking about, what's going on today. It actually is going to be interesting to see. The NFL is actually working on, I guess a bunch of the owners are protesting, petitioning to change how overtime's done in the finals. Obviously, they don't want to do stuff in the regular season, but evidently they're looking to change things for the at least in the playoffs, because that's a big one right there. But we'll see what happens in the future. So hold on. So I gotta do this here. That is not going to work. Let me do the other one.
Hello.
Someone is chewing something in the hallway, and I'm still on the show.
Okay.
I already pulled a hoodie from him. Yeah, my big boy who's been on the show. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens now, because I guess more and more people are complaining about it. So, but anyways, so with all the nonsense that went on and people going in different directions, what I've been doing is, for schools, for 1 year, we are sponsoring them for a free membership in the World Mountain East Alliance. We do two different things. One, as a basic, is you're a school member and you're part of the network, and the other is you become a certified member to actually do rank through the organization. Either way, we don't tell you what to do. You can do whatever you want. Obviously, when it comes to using our name, things need to be vetted through me, because it's my organization, it's my corporation. And really, the only thing we're concerned about, as long as everyone's behaving ethically, we don't care. Just run your own business. We're not going to tell you how to run a business. If you're gonna, if you want people to get promoted with our certification, then they got to go by our standards. If you are doing your own in-house rank and you're upfront to your members that it's an in-house rank, then we don't care what you're doing. Doesn't affect us. But when you're doing things in our name, then there's things that need to be, there's a checklist that we have to go through, make sure we're all good. But I've had people who've joined our organization just as associate members. Mick Waite, he's a Cometon guy, which is part of the family. And he joined our organization years back, and he's still a member with us. And so he's at school in Australia, and we've done some things in the past since then. There's some stuff in Europe and stuff like that. And his Cometon members asked him, his brothers and sisters in the Cometon organization, why'd I join Hartman's organization? I go, well, it's a no-brainer. What do you mean? I joined up, and then within the first 6 months, of being a member. A guy comes to the door, signs up for a year, paid in full, and I asked him how he heard about me. I heard from the World Modernist Alliance. He goes, well, there you go. The advertising was worth it alone. So some people just come in because they're looking at that networking capability to get the word out. Others are on our curriculum and stuff like that. So this is what we are looking to do first and foremost. I'm not worried about the curriculum. I'm worried about getting the word out. And there is no organization in the States that has a database like ours for modern Arnis. End of story. And for that alone, it's worth it, in my opinion. So if I look at schools, I'm pulling this up right now. I'm going to share this. It's going to just take a moment. Okay, here we go. I'm proud of the thing. I did this all myself, so I'm happy. I'm proud. So we look here. It's done in order by state. So we've got the headquarters first. That's me. So I'm sorry, but I'm number one. It's my organization. But then we got California, Colorado, Florida, Indiana, Massachusetts, Missouri, New York, Texas, Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania. It's a Maryland, Delaware, Eastern PA region, Virginia. Then in Canada, we've got Ontario. Then we have our global schools. And we just added this one right here, a second school in Austria, which are on our immersion program. So we've got Australia, Austria, Barbados, Denmark, Sweden, Poland, the UK, Venezuela. Many of these schools are only doing the networking thing, but we still train together periodically. And others are doing their own, are doing the curriculum, and that's fine. But the big thing is we're promoting the art, and that's what this is about. If we want to, okay, so here's the thing. I've been very vocal about all these titles. In the last year, there's been, at the end of 2021, four Americans have been promoted to Grandmasters in modern Arnis. I've been very vocal about it. Now, I'll say it again. Kelly Warden is the only one of them that I think checks all the boxes to be a Grandmaster. Mad skills, multiple locations, spreading his art internationally. The other three, that's bullshit. One school teaching out of a rec center or teaching out of your basement. Okay, here's the question. If you're going to be a Grandmaster, here are my questions for you. Because actually someone asked this question to me this week, and I got interviewed about this. Okay. How can you be a Grandmaster when you're not producing black belts, let alone masters? Okay. How can you be a Grandmaster if you've never produced a Grandmaster? Now, what's the criteria of being the GM? Well, you are the designated inheritor. That would trump it. Okay, there you go. Remy or someone put you in charge, if depending on, fill in the blank on what the system is. Spreading the art, leading authority of the art, producing people. These are the things you need to do. And like I said, some of the people who claim to be Grandmaster have never produced a black belt. And I'm not talking they didn't promote a black belt, because I know one person in general, his latest thing is promoting people who've been on their own, or maybe they left the organization what they're with. Oh, you should be a higher rank and I'll promote you. They didn't produce them. They promoted them. Anyone can sign a piece of paper. I don't give a shit. But can you produce a black belt, let alone a master? And I'll say, if you haven't produced multiple master instructors. How dare would you think about the GM thing and to say, well, Tim, well, you're a GM, you're claiming GM. That was done by Ernesto Praces. In modern Arnis, it wasn't done. And here's the thing: in modern Arnis, the protocol was set up that there was only one grandmaster. And as I showed the will earlier for the martial arts section of it, Remy did not pass this on to the Filipinos. Okay. None of the Filipinos over there now are listed in this. It was Shashir, who's wherever, and Roland Dantes as being an equal of one of the 30. So, thanks, Eric. He didn't will this to his kids nor his brothers. And I love the family. I really do. I loved Ernesto. But Ernesto told me when he promoted me to Grandmaster. In Combatant, 8th and 9th is GM, and then 10th is GGM. And he said, Tim, I can't promote you to in my brother's system, but I can promote you in mine. So he promoted me in 2007 to 9th degree in Grandmaster with the intent to promote me to 10th degree later, and that never happened. But it still wouldn't have been in Modern. He just promoted me to Grandmaster in Combatant. And now I see people using Ernesto's signature, or Roberto, and I think they're just using Roberto, in my opinion. He's not the leading authority on Remy's art. He's the leading authority on Henegran Arnis Tamano, just like Ernesto is the leading authority on Combatant, and Remy's the leading authority on Modern Arnis, because the art is what Remy made it. Okay. But you have produced a bunch of higher. Yes, I did. Yep. Yes, I did. So, oops. Okay, there we go. There you go. Thanks, Jason. And Jason was there when Remy told him training with me was like training with him. So I don't, so he's another one of these witnesses thing. I don't. Listen, I don't really give a shit what the others do. I don't. Until they try to demean what other people are doing. That's where I have the problem. Saying that they're the end-all, be-all, I think that's nonsense. The Masters of Tappy Tappy were a consolation gift. That's my opinion. That was done while Remy had a tumor that was affecting his equilibrium. He couldn't put his clothes on right. He could barely stand. I have a feeling that he would have done that anyways, but it wasn't going to equal what they're saying it was. I don't think he would have done anything to supersede a legal document, his will. I think the mindset was going to be, well, Tim just got 6th degree in Datu. I'll promote these guys up to 5th and give them Master of Tappy Tappy, because Master of Tappy Tappy is a drill. They said that they master the heart of the art. They're masters of Tappy Tappy. 5th degree was master. That's what they said. I mastered the art. They mastered part of it. Being a master Tappy Tappy is like being a master Sinwali's, in my opinion. I've been upfront saying that we all have something good to offer. We should all be able to do our thing. I don't trash talk these guys, but really at the end of the day, if it's the art within the art, the way they were taught, part of what they're doing is another system. It's not Remy's teachings. I was the one that specialized in it. It was a no-brainer at the time who the heir apparent was, but that's my opinion. Listen, so I'm going to call it quits. It was supposed to be an hour show and I went over. Go figure. Next week, time, I'll be back. I am going to be doing Datu's Corner. We're going to talk about what happened in Germany. And I already made some comments about the will, but I'll tie that together again. If anyone has any suggestions for shows, let us know. Please always like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I want to thank our sponsors, the Modern Ace University, the Vulpes Training Blades, and our featured event is the 65th anniversary. Here we go. Can I be a Puno master? Puno master. I'd have to know what Puno means. Thanks. Hey, Brian, just remember, okay, and those who are taking the classes with me this week, I'm only doing, I did class tonight, virtual classes tonight. I'm doing a virtual class tomorrow, a hybrid. virtual logins during my regular classes, just today and tomorrow, and then off to Virginia. All right, guys. Listen, as always, everybody, please stay safe and stay sane. This is Dr. Tim saying, well, that was it. That was what I wanted to say. Stay safe and stay sane. And I'm going to go I'm going to do the normal outro, which I don't have that. Okay, I got this outro. All right, I'll catch you guys later. And I'm still on the show.